Let's begin.
Here we go! Hi, everybody!
Start the insanity.
You are not worried, are you?
Me? No.
Well, we're waiting.
Hello, and welcome to Super Media All-Stars. We are a weekly podcast, and today we are talking about games. I have three other All-Stars joining me tonight. I'm your host, John Harris, and to the left of me is Jake Boston.
Hey now, we're all Super Media All-Stars. Get your game on. Go play.
Across from me is Brent Harris. And returning to the table, All-Star Jesse Geske.
That's me. Hi, friends.
We got a great episode for you today. There's a lot in the news going on, a lot of tidbits that we're going to be talking on, and then we have a huge chunk we're going to call the Fall Preview 2017 of a lot of video games coming out this fall. A lot of them we're going to try to get to, but most of them we'll only have a chance to dab into it, so we thought we'd cover it today in this episode. And then there's a few game anniversaries we're going to mention, and we're going to close out with some trivia. But first, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Amazing.
Any good games you guys are playing this last week, or any good pickups?
I'm playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night,
Ooh,
which is
very
one of
good.
the greatest games ever, probably.
That's very random. Why'd you
Yes.
start playing that?
Oh, picked up a PSP recently
Oh, boy.
from eBay.
For
Got
like-
one cheap.
For a hand job or what?
A sad hand
A very sad hand
It
job.
was very sad, yes. But yeah, and then I picked up the Chronicles, like the dual pack. It's got several different Castlevania games on there. It's a game that's been on my to-play list for a long time, so I finally stopped putting it off and been playing it this week, and it's amazing.
How's it treating you so far?
Well, the PSP version has you actually play through a game that's shitty to unlock Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So I spent like 4 hours unlocking the additional game.
That's
weird.
garbage.
That's
so,
weird.
and it's the game that's on the PSP is very like NES version, to where it's very brutal. Your character moves very awkwardly. He can only jump slightly in the air and can only reach so far. So it's, and then to unlock the game, you have to go through all these different steps, and
So it's
it's brutal though. Just unlock it.
It's a Castlevania collection. You got to earn the other
You
games.
have to unlock the games. I was pissed.
You know the
I
games that
was
you
so
really
pissed.
want to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
The
gotta
locked
play
away.
this shit first.
I gonna finish up Mario Rabbids 'cause I'm about 3/4 of the way through that, and then I've been really itching to play Fallout 4 again.
Why?
That's
That's a weird thing to want to play
That's
again.
because
that was a weird thing. That's a great.
I went back
game.
to Fallout 4 last week, actually.
exactly.
I love Fallout 4.
What is
I-
this?
this
I
is
have
a P-
this is a PC thing. PC guys
I
just jump
guess,
around.
I
yeah.
have 110 hours in one character, and then like 40 in another with the
Yep.
melee guy, and I really want to finish the melee guy because he's just awesome.
Meh.
All right.
It's just fun to wander around and experience different things and blow people's heads off.
Yeah, go fuck with Death Claws and get my ass raped. It's fun.
Jake?
I've still just only been playing Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I just beat the third boss, started the last fourth world. That last boss was pretty fun. I like
Which one?
Uh,
For World 4?
Tom Pham. No, World 3. There's only 4 worlds.
Oh, is it the guy, the character from the trailer, the family opera guy? Or
Yeah,
Yep.
the Phantom boss.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Is he hard?
Not really. He's just entertaining to play.
I beat the ice guy the first time,
Yeah.
but I had like everyone at like 30 health or less,
Sure.
and still got the perfect. But John's been having a real rough time.
I
with
just
it.
beat him today,
Gotcha.
and like I said, when I play this game, I don't let any characters die because I'm trying to work for that perfect every time. But then I beat him, and then I got a good, and I was pissed. So I'm waiting. I'm not going to go back and beat him again.
Yeah, and there's 3 rankings when you beat each level. It's either perfect, where all your people stay alive, and you beat the map in X amount of moves.
in the rounds limited or the
Yeah.
rounds
Yeah.
that it suggested it should be.
If you only get one of those right, you get a good. If you get both of those wrong, you get a fair.
Right.
I got my first fair in World 3, and I was pissed.
I was really sad to hear after talking to you guys today. There's only 4 worlds.
Yeah, but
That seems so small.
that's why I bought the DLC already. I
Did
want
ya?
another world whenever that decides to come out in 2018.
Yeah, it's the DK boss, the ice boss, the Phantom boss, Baby Bowser, then Bowser.
Spoilers.
Ooh, Bowser?
Pretty sure.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I thought
think.
Bowser was on vacation. That's what it says in the story.
They're rehashing Super Mario Sunshine storyline.
We're on vacation, Mom. Let's take a bath.
a rubber ducky.
Hey, that was one of the worst boss fights ever, but
One of the
it made
greatest
sense
games,
for the vacation.
Oh my God, one of the greatest games. One of the worst freaking endings ever.
Do you know what game was Bowser Jr.'s first to appear in?
Oh,
John knows.
Yeah.
was it a side-scrolling one?
It was a main one.
He wasn't in the first one?
First what?
The first Mario game for the
No.
NES?
No, that was Bowser.
Well, there's a little Bowser, or like a little dinosaur guy.
I think
who
that
spun
was-
around in circles.
That was like one of his like kids.
Oh, so he wasn't Bowser Jr. though.
Yeah, no, they're Koopalings in the
Oh,
third
okay.
one. There's like 7 of them.
you're,
not sure
you're overthinking this, Brent. You know it.
You definitely know it. What do you think of Bowser Jr. from?
I don't know. Smash?
Oh my, come on.
Baby Bowser from. It's not Sunshine?
It is Sunshine.
It is Sunshine.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thinking way too hard.
Yeah. Think how old that game is, and it makes sense because that's the first time he
It was
actually.
like 2002? 2003?
I think so.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
Finally
where did
getting
the
his
baby
time-
come from? Is there a mom?
No.
Nobody knows.
So not only do they introduce him, but they introduce him way the hell late because the whole time you think it's just this weird Mario.
Yeah,
Shadow Mario.
That's such a
Spoilers.
weird introduction.
sure is.
That makes a great segue because speaking of Mario, he's our first information in the news today. Guess what, guys?
What?
Mario isn't a plumber anymore, or hasn't been for a while.
He ain't anymore.
You're fired.
According to the Nintendo website, the official character roster for Mario is he hasn't plumbed in some time.
He's not laying that pipe, know what I mean?
Wasn't that what Luigi was for?
ain't flushing up the clogs anymore.
Can you guys let's make this a fun thing. Let's name other professions Mario's done since plumbing.
Doctor.
Soccer.
Kart racer.
Professional pinball?
Pinballer?
You mean pinball. He was a pinball.
Oh, yeah, he was a pinball.
Yeah. He's been a lot of shit.
Tennis. He's played like all the sports.
He was a
Yeah.
referee in
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Gross.
The last time I would predict he was a plumber was probably what, Super Mario Brothers? The original where he was
No,
actually
just Mario Brothers.
I mean, he
Oh,
technically
That main arcade
yeah,
game.
yeah.
still goes into pipes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if there's a clog, then he's technically plumbing.
Yeah, no. The main reason why they made him a plumber is because in Donkey Kong they needed to make his face not look like a blob, so they just put a mustache on there. And mustache means blue collar. Blue collar means plumber.
What's funny to think is if that's the last game he's done, every game since then he's just been at his leisure. He's doing it as I want to pick up a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So in every game he's played since then has been a hobby game of
He'd
his.
be really good at the Olympics because he's a professional jumper.
He sure is. Mario's good at a lot of shit.
For a guy who maybe stands like 3 foot tall in retrospect.
With a tum.
Who has like the best like athletic skills for how we
And he gets around in Doc Martens, it looks like.
Yeah, that double jump, goddamn.
Right?
Into a backflip.
Oh my god! And the like whatever that's called in like
Crouch
the
jump?
front jump.
Crouch jump, yeah.
God, that's so long. It just goes forever.
He's a pure athlete, that Mario.
On the other end of the scale, another character that's not remotely to Mario's level is Knack. Because
Oh yeah.
Knack 2 came out, I want to say, this previous week. Reviews are okay. People are saying, yeah, it's Knack 2.
Knackety knack. Crap, crap, crap.
If you guys
It's knacktastic. 10 out of 10.
If you don't know what Knack
Let's
was,
play.
Knack is like you play as this little thing, and then you collect pieces, and your character gets bigger, and you go through these platforming stages.
Started out as a launch character for PS4 launch. It was made by Mark Cerny, who has made a lot of very good old classic games. Made Marble Madness. He helped design the PS4, which I think is why they are just like, okay, you designed this console. It looks sexy as fuck. Just make a game for it.
And again, to his defense, Knack, the first one and the second one both look really good, like graphic wise, but the gameplay itself is just meh.
It's like a weird mix of like Crash Bandicoot.
Trying to be.
Well, it's
Yeah.
that game that you were like a little gooey ball, and all you did in the game was just roll around and pick up
Katamari
junk.
Damacy?
Yeah,
Katamari, yeah.
That's a great game.
yeah. And that like, it's kind of stealing an aspect of that because that's what Knack does.
This game is just a hodgepodge of good ideas
Yeah.
made into a bad
Yeah.
game.
It seems like shovelware. They just needed a game to launch. They're like, let's just put something that's okay together and push it out for the kids to play.
Yeah,
Yep.
Knack 1 was kind of received as like, oh, this is a fancy tech demo that you guys made into a game. Knack 2 is a game, but still just
Slightly better,
yeah.
probably improved on certain things, but still mediocre.
Sequel nobody wanted.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're interested,
Well,
it's
yeah.
a PS4 exclusive, so Hope you enjoy it. On a more exciting note, Crystal Dynamics, mostly known recently for Tomb Raider reboot and Tomb Raider...
Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Yes, thank you. Both really good games. I'm not sure if you guys have played them, but they're...
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're good. I loved them. I picked them up later after their release, but I blew through those games because they were so addicting.
If you're a big Uncharted fan, go play this. It's like an open world Uncharted.
Yeah.
And you play with a girl. It's pretty good. Lara Croft. Good stuff.
And it's not like your early
Boobs.
PlayStation. It's not like your,
There, that's what I was waiting for.
it's not like your early PlayStation Tomb Raiders where it's like a little over the top. This is like very grounded, and Lork's character is very awesome. So this Crystal Dynamics team who made these games is now making the Avengers game that was announced, I want to say, early this year.
Yeah, in January.
Yep. And then this week, we got a little bit more news saying that they're kind of adapting the over-the-person's-shoulder look that a lot of PS4 games do, and Tomb Raider did. They're going to adapt that into an Avengers game.
It's going to be like a third-person game where you can actually see the Avengers. There haven't been really good superhero games in a long time.
Yeah, but does that perspective work for like an Avengers when you're...
So it's like Gears of War almost.
Yeah, but...
Is it gonna be a shooter?
Yeah, but
Like Uncharted, like Tomb Raider, that type of shit.
But imagine playing as Iron Man or the Hulk or Captain America. Some of those characters would probably translate to a third-person over-the-shoulder perspective, but like... Iron Man flying in the air, that'd be weird, I think.
Yeah.
Hulk running around smashing things, like...
the Hulk I can only that's the only one I can see.
Really? I think the Hulk would be the hardest one to adapt.
The Hulk had a really good GameCube game. I think it was called Incredible Hulk Maximum Destruction.
Yeah.
And he played amazingly. Like, he could do the giant leaps all over. He could destroy everything, grab tanks, tear it in half, use them as, like, boxing gloves.
Was that like a zoomed out perspective, though? Or was that over the shoulder?
No, it was third person.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It was really good.
So, yeah, so we'll see how this game comes along. I have high hopes for an Avengers game.
Well, not only is Crystal Dynamics making it, but since this is such a high priority for Square Enix, they're putting the IDOS Montreal team on it too. They helped make Deus Ex, those new Human Revolution or Human Mankind, whatever the hell
That
it's
series
called.
wrapped up, I want to say, the previous year or 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
Mankind Divided was the sequel.
Right.
But yeah, I think those two teams should make one hell of a game.
I would hope so.
Now they haven't shown a lot of information or gameplay footage of this yet. It's just like a teaser trailer.
Yeah, they showed, like, all
something's coming. It might
Right.
be shit. It might
was
be
like-
really good.
It was like the
We don't know
Metroid
yet. Yeah.
trailer. Metroid's coming back.
No, it was better than that. Like the
It was worse than that. Just like, oh, hey, here's Thor's hammer.
yeah, it
Here's
was like
the
it was all their weapons on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
that.
you
now.
like Cap's shield? Oh, here's Cap's shield. You want to see more? You gotta wait.
All right, this next one we won't spend too much time on, but I think it's worth a mention. If you're a big fan of Stardew, it's a game that I really want to get into eventually. Just when it comes to Switch, I will. But Chucklefish, the developers behind Stardew, are making a Harry Potter-esque / Stardew combined into 16-bit school game.
Chucklefish.
Maximus Erectus.
But when we learn more about this game, it'll probably worth another discussion. So just throwing it as a mention. Kind of bigger studio now, Bethesda. I think it's the CEO that announced this week that they have a secret game coming out for 2017.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this could be. at
Someone let
all.
it slip.
We had predictions being
Your
what?
hybrid names were terrible. By
No,
the
they
way.
were great. What are you
No,
talking
no.
about?
What, Fall Rim
Oh my god.
The Elder Within,
Oh,
Evil Within, and Elder Scrolls.
yeah.
or Wolf Honored?
So dumb.
I don't know what this game could be. I told Jake I thought it'd be a mobile game at
It might
best,
be, yeah.
just because they have big. Bethesda has Wolfenstein 2 and Evil Within coming out within 2 weeks of each other.
What I would love is if they had a Wolfenstein tie-in that was like old school 8-bit graphics, like Wolfenstein 3D.
I think it's safe to say that Bethesda is not going to announce anything big, but
No.
it's just fun to hear that they have something up their sleeve as just an ace in the hole. They already have a good fall lineup, so I'm not sure. It's not going to be anything huge.
Evil Within 2 comes out this year, right?
October 13th.
Because that's just kind of like died. I haven't heard any news since E3, and I kind of forgot I saw it there
Well,
too.
either has Wolfenstein 2. It hasn't had much hype since E3.
It hasn't. But we played the demo, and that demo has stayed with me. It's good shit.
Is it?
So
I pre-ordered the
Of course you
Wolfenstein 2 that comes with the little action figure doll.
did. Oh,
yeah, not surprised.
We'll be doing an unboxing of that when that comes. So
What's your worst collector's edition that you've bought? What's your biggest regret?
Call of Duty.
I never bought a Call of Duty.
I thought you bought one with like a fridge or something.
No, my
like a mini fridge.
My worst collector's edition was the Fallout 4 one. The Pit-Boy was
What?
It was cool, Pit-Boy, but it was more of like, oh, this is cool to have, but it doesn't make no sense to use it.
Correction. Your worst one is the Last Guardian
Yes.
dog.
I like that
statue.
statue.
Oh my god.
Fuck you and your Vault or Fallout 4 hatred. You've played like 30 minutes of Fallout 4. You hater.
Yeah, and I thought it was too good for it.
I got you
God.
for a zombie.
I'm gonna go back to Witcher. Thank you.
You play it for the 4th time.
You know how bad I want to play The Witcher now that I have a 4K TV?
Just stop.
I'm surprised you haven't.
Maybe when it comes to the X, and I get an X, and then it gets a 4K upgrade.
You're getting an X?
I don't, maybe someday.
He'll get next.
He's already pre-ordered it.
He wants the box.
He was one
remember?
of the 2 people that pre-ordered it.
Another cool announcement. I'm not sure. I never played this, but it's kind of cool to hear the LA Noire from Rockstar, a game that was kind of controversial when it came out. Controversial in the sense that people liked it or really hated it. Is coming to current gen plus Switch. So, did anybody play this back in the day?
I watched some of it on YouTube.
This does not seem like a game for me. 1947 detective. Yeah.
Like mob stuff and
Yeah.
I would rather play Grand
fedoras
Theft
and-
Auto, I think.
No, I've heard like there's open world
Yeah.
like GTA. It's just that like you got to solve mysteries and
Right.
I don't know.
you literally do everything a detective would. So you go to the place where the
Yeah.
crime scene happens, you look for clues, then you drive back to your office and whatever that kind of stuff.
Did you guys see that the Switch version is going to cost more?
I did
$10
see
Is it
that.
more?
really? Why?
It's due to the limitations of the how the storage works.
So what? There's more in the
So, yeah, I'm
cartridge
not
or what?
Exactly. I don't know. I guess it costs more money for the developers to put it on the disc, I guess, for the Switch or the
Oh,
cartridge
Yeah, I can see that.
because of how the storage works. I'm not sure on the details on that, but
I'll be surprised if the Switch version is the remake that they're making, or not remake, but the beefed up version they're making for PS4 and Xbox One.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just put the PS3 version onto Switch on that little card.
right.
I would hope not, because the Switch is supposed to be right between, as far as graphics wise, the PS3 and PS4. Not quite PS4 good, but I think the Switch should be able to handle an upgraded 360 game. That being said, and I don't know if there's an audience for this on the Switch.
The main thing I remember
No.
this game for is just the technology used to make it, like the face mapping and
Right.
everything.
It was-
It came out in 2011, and this
Which
was a
was-
big fucking deal at the time.
Yeah.
But it's gotten way better since then, as far as technology wise. If they were to make this game now, the system would have been much more easy to use, I would think.
Well, now
'Cause
Rockstar's just like a 2-game development party. It's either Red Dead or GTA. They don't really branch out anymore.
Yeah, but all their main characters now, especially for that game in particular, is all mocap.
Yeah.
So that game thrived on mocap, and that's what it used back in the day. And I'm sure mocap's gotten 10 times better since they started this game.
Yeah, LA Noire looked realistically weird though. Like there was an uncanny valley with that type of stuff.
Oh, really?
Like I thought LA Noire looked more realistic than GTA 5 did.
Yeah.
I really did, just because the facial mapping that they did for this game looked very strange. And
They were so proud of it too.
yeah, I know.
Also, it's coming to VR, which I think is just coming to the HTC VR, which will be cool, but that's your most expensive VR unit. I didn't say anything about
They dropped that down like $200.
They did, but still an expensive unit.
Oh yeah.
And I think that particular one revolves like a 10 by 10 area room of nothing but you in that space. So
Oh, really?
Speaking of VR, do you know that Killing Floor 2 is now on VR? So Killing Floor 2
Oh,
is a
snap.
zombie like survival game where it's you and 3 other people.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best zombie games I've ever played in my life. And it's coming to VR now, or it is already on VR, which is crazy because that game would
That'd be freaky.
Oh my god! You got like this ginormous like monstrosity thing coming at you with the chainsaw. And just-
it's just like it looked like another Left 4 Dead 2 to me.
So out of all 4 of us, John is the only person with a VR unit. He's got PlayStation VR.
And I haven't probably touched it since March when I played Batman. And Batman was really good, but you'll help people say that just isn't a huge knockout game for the PSVR every month like there are console games. So, and just in case you thought we were holding out on you, our last piece of information, Destiny 2 came out this week. We know there's a huge following for this game. Unfortunately, the 4 of us are not huge into Destiny 2. Jesse, on the other hand, is going to dive into it eventually.
Do you want to give us your history with Destiny?
Sure. Yeah, I played the hell out of Destiny 1, or I guess just Destiny, but when the Taken King came out, they made some changes that I didn't really care for. Wasn't really interested in playing past that point, but I put several hundred hours into the first Destiny.
Damn.
I started off with Jesse. Like, we don't think we ever played together, but like I played through the cap on levels, but then the grinding starts after the cap, and that's where you start grinding for armor and for weapons, and that's where I fell off.
I didn't mind the grind. You didn't like the grind then?
No,
Okay.
Unfortunately, I thought Destiny would have a story-driven aspect to it, but it didn't.
It didn't?
No.
The story was shit in the
Yeah,
first game.
it was
That was
terrible.
one of the major complaints.
Yeah,
Really?
you played that game out of the love for grinding.
So are they actually fixing that? Fixing that for the
Yeah,
second
one of the major things they gave the thumbs up to with Destiny 2 was the story. They put a lot more time and effort into developing a story, actually giving you a story. I don't think the story is going to blow anyone away, but I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think to a certain extent, just like WoW, you play some of the missions, like dailies, if you want to call them that,
Okay.
where you enjoy them for a while, but eventually there's only so much
They
content,
just
right?
become repetitive.
You can't play any game forever unless they release additional content.
Sure.
You're going to do the same dungeons, you're going to do the same dailies, you're going to do the same raid every week. It's an MMO at the end of the day, right?
For you, Brent, imagine like Halo splashed with the Warcraft raid setup.
See, for me, that,
Exactly.
See, I could easily get into that game, but the
Yeah.
make or break for me is playing with friends.
There's a lot of things they improved in Destiny 2, and the initial people who picked this up are really liking it so far as I can hear and I read about. Jesse, you're picking up from PC, which is coming out next
In October.
month.
Mhm.
Yep. So that's been kind of a discussion. People are holding out for PC because this kind of PC, you can argue, is an advantage in a game like that. So
Right. I think at the end of the day, if you like Destiny 1, you're going to love Destiny 2. And if you gave up on Destiny 1 due to the story not maybe being to your liking, you'll probably like Destiny 2. But at the end of the day, do you like farming the same raids and dungeons and dailies every day?
That sounds like my nightmare.
when you
If you don't, you're not going to like Destiny
if you
2.
have a game library or a backlog of games to play, you don't have time for grinding anymore.
Right. It's an MMO. So, I mean, that's for some people, not for others. I think I'll pick up Destiny 2. I probably won't, play it as much as I did the first one. But I'll play it for the story, maybe check out some of the dungeons and the raids, and then probably call it quits after that.
Let's move on to our next section. This one's going to be a beefy one, and it's called Fall Preview.
That was terrible.
I'm not
But
touching
thank you.
I thought I'd give it a dramatic effect.
That was great.
That was dramatic.
Wasn't it? Basically, in this section, we're going to do a rundown of the fall games. We'll try to keep the conversation short or long, depending on if this game really excites us or if we know much about it. We might just throw a mention out there as well, because we have quite the list here. Starting off that list is a game I'm really excited for, and it actually comes out September 15th next week, and that's Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS. Is anybody else going to pick this up?
I've gone back and forth on that one. I don't know.
I've heard it plays like I've listened to IGN talk about it a little bit. Sam Claiborne is going to review it, and I like that guy's reviews, and he said it plays a lot like Super Metroid,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
which
Plus,
surprises me.
They added the counter, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
If you know anything about Metroid, it's a game. You're a bounty hunter and you hunt space aliens, and it's a very dungeon-driven game. A lot of backtracking, but there's a lot of appeal here, especially if you've played any Metroid game before, especially Super Metroid. Like Jake said, you're probably gonna love this game. And I was very hesitant about this game first because the 3D graphics never translate well to a TV. 3DS always looks best when you're actually looking at a 3DS.
Yep.
So supposedly this game looks really good. It's got like a Windows view to it, and I was really nervous about this game being short because like they put a lot of detail into it, and that usually means it's gonna be a short game. But I guess it's long,
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's short at all.
which is good because I don't want a short Metroid game. Because if you guys played Zero Mission, like it was only like a 2 to 3 hour game, which people liked, but I wanted more. I wanted more out of that game.
I don't know if I can go back to the 3DS after playing the Switch. I can't imagine doing that. I haven't since.
Metroid makes sense. I mean, they're gonna try to keep the 3DS going as much as they can. So a Metroid on the 3DS, I feel, is justified. So I've been waiting for a Metroid game for 4 or 5 years with
Long
the rest
time.
of the Metroid fans. So
You didn't like Federation Force, John?
nope. I read about it, looked at it. Not for me.
I'll be playing my Metroid in Rocket League once it comes to Switch.
Side note for Metroid, we'll be bringing in the Metroid 3DS for an unboxing sometime in the next week or two. And there's a lot of Metroid amiibos coming out. There's a lot of cool extras that are coming out with this game. We'll probably do a unboxing for. So stay tuned for that.
First ever squishy amiibo. Stay tuned.
All right, we'll keep this next one short. Dishonored is getting a DLC called Death to the Outsider. If you're a Dishonored fan, this is going to be super interesting to you because I'm a Dishonored fan. Death of the Outsider is going to be pretty much the ending to, for as I've read, the Dishonored series and these characters.
This is a new game or is this DLC?
DLC for Dishonored 2. But
Gotcha.
it's kind of like that Uncharted effect. It's going to be a big game that you can buy it on separate on retail too.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a big chunk to
Yeah.
download. Okay.
It's been a while since.
Do you buy it as an actual game or you download it?
I've seen it as I've seen you can buy an actual disc
Oh, okay.
for it. So
Nice. Gotcha.
it features a character from Dishonored 2. And if you're anything remotely Dishonored, you know there's a character called Outsider. He's like this dark god who gives you powers, but he's not really good or bad. He just plays games with people for revenge or for their own motives. And the character you play in this game is out to kill the Outsider. She's sick of people getting powers, which is the part of the whole Dishonored series. So we'll see how that wraps up. I think they're just moving on to a different genre or IP outside of Dishonored now. All right, next one is, I think we've all played this series, so hopefully you guys can relate. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite comes out September 19th.
Is this the one we played at E3?
Sure is.
God, Jake butt trucked me.
I'm a huge fan of Marvel vs. Capcom. I played 2 on the PS1. I was really big into Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I just love the 3v3 aspect, and you can like trade out your people to get different combinations and just sneak attacks and stuff. Fucking love it. Plus Marvel, any crossover game, if it's 2 IPs that I love, I just love them crossing together in the same game. Good stuff. They have a story mode, which
Yeah.
I'm totally pumped
cool.
about.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I
showed a
mean-
trailer for it. It actually looked really cool because it's just a giant mashup of these characters.
Yeah, there's some main roster people that have been in all the other Marvel vs. Capcom games that, because they're only going off of the MCU universe, there's not going to be Wolverine in this game, and he was my go-to,
Yeah.
one of my 3 go-tos.
That's also a hot topic too about this game, is the X-Men being excluded
Yeah.
as of now.
Were they just too overused? Why'd they keep them out?
No, because-
Licensing.
yeah, that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they lost a lot actually because they lost Magneto.
Yeah, all the
Lost-
X-Men.
yeah.
Yeah.
which is half of the Marvel people usually used in
Yeah.
that game.
Who'd they put in then?
Miss Marvel?
A bunch of random other
Who's
Marvel
that?
characters.
Yeah.
They're actually speculating that there might be a price wall behind this. Like they might put the X-Men characters as DLC, which would piss a lot of people off.
Didn't they put Thing in too? They put the Thing from Fantastic Four in there.
I don't think so.
I could have swore he was in there.
It's unfortunate the licensing come down to the games too. I'm okay if it stays at the movie level, but when it comes to games, that's unfortunate.
If they do put it behind a price wall, I'm going to hate it, but I'm going to buy it.
oh yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people will, So-
Or I might just wait until Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
which is
and
definitely
just
going to come.
Have everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I double dipped with 3. I bought the first one, Steelbook. And then once Ultimate came out, I bought that one as well because I wanted everybody.
Yeah. Just in case I didn't mention it, Metroid comes out September 15th. Dishonored came out September 15th. And Marvel vs. Capcom comes out the 19th of September.
Okay, John, let's get to this next game. I'm pumped.
All right, this is actually an indie game, believe it or not, but it's right up there with the AAA games of this fall. So we're definitely going to bring this up because this game we're super excited about comes out September 29th, and that is Cuphead.
I have been waiting for this for 3 fucking years, and it's finally coming out at the end of this month.
A lot of Xbox fans and probably gamers in general are super excited for Cuphead.
The
How
main
can a game that looks like that take 3 years?
because
Right?
It looks
When
so simple.
when the game started in early development, it was just boss rush. That's it. Like you would just
Okay.
fight bosses and go from boss to boss.
Which would have worked too.
But their reveal trailer at E3 3 years ago got so much buzz, Microsoft put more money into it. Like, can you make this game longer? So they started, because it is just like a shoot 'em up game, just like a bullet hell type shit.
Yeah.
But they also put in some side scrolling elements to make it like a platformer as well.
It's all over the board.
Yeah. I cannot fucking wait.
It's
Is
like-
it drawn? Like, is it all hand
Yeah,
drawn?
to give
It
you
looks very
an
interesting.
idea of what this looks like, imagine your
It's
Mickey in the boathouse,
Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat
Totally,
Willie
yeah.
cartoon aesthetic.
Yeah, just
With-
1920s.
Yeah,
Amazing
drawn.
artwork.
It reminds me of like an old not the look, but the gameplay looks like an old Sega shoot 'em up,
Yeah, and
except way off the charts.
that's my wheelhouse. I love the cartoony old cartoons, the two mashups, old cartoons and shoot 'em ups. I'm a big fan of both. Believe it or not, this is the main reason why I bought an Xbox One.
That's fair.
But I bought it
And,
2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
It might look like a cartoon, but it's definitely not for kids. It looks really brutally difficult.
I've heard nothing but horror stories about people playing this. Like, it's so difficult.
It's tough, and like the characters actually look pretty messed up. Like the boss battles. Like,
Oh, really?
It's not. It's a cartoon. Don't be wrong.
Yeah.
But they look kind of demonic.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I love it.
That's sweet.
One of
It's
them's like
so
a bird
good.
that looks like it's been on crack for 8 years, and it's just like in a like flying ball now thing.
And the two characters, why it's called Cuphead, they're coffee cup heads.
Yeah.
They're characters with coffee cups for heads, and they look like Disney made a coffee cup character.
And there's a multiplayer, right?
And that's been the main appeal of this game. It's
That's
gonna
be
local,
awesome.
local co-op.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited for that.
So you and a buddy pick up a controller, and you guys are both going through a level of side-scrolling shooting. On another note for games on this list, it's also a throwback. It's an old game, but it's actually coming out new for September 29th as well. It's Star Fox 2, which we talked about this in an earlier episode.
SNES Classic.
SNES Classic
Yeah.
coming out for the first time.
Only way you can get your hands on it.
Yeah, sequel to Star Fox, obviously, which is just basically imagine your animals in space, and you're in a TIE fighter, essentially, and you're shooting.
Dual barrel.
Yep, exactly.
So we'll all be playing this for sure. So
Yeah.
we'll have some thoughts on it, I think, when it
Yeah.
comes out.
So, next one on this list, I'm not an expert on, but I think two of you guys maybe have played it or touched it, and that's Middle-earth Shadow of War, a sequel to Shadow of Mordor, and that comes out October 10th.
What is it? What do you smell? Man flesh. They must have picked up our trail.
Had to get that in there.
That's a reference to the movie Lord of the Rings. This is a Lord of the Rings game, obviously, Middle-earth Shadow of War. You play as a ranger / specter ghost guy, and you're out to kill Sauron. A thing that never happened in the books or movies, but this game takes it to its own story, and they're making it official.
Well, that was the DLC part of it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, originally you're just the ranger who just wants revenge for his family.
So, Brent, you've played Shadow of Mordor. You haven't finished it yet, but you're close.
Yeah, like I'm like 99% done.
Are you
Okay.
playing that? Are you excited for Shadow of War?
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for
Did
it,
you
too.
play Shadow of Mordor?
Yep. I
Nice.
played it all the way through.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Okay, so this game is going to be more of it, looks like, essentially,
Yeah.
but
More
bigger. But
like
bigger.
base building elements, which is what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
You
So-
want like Fallout 4?
Kind of.
Kinda.
Uh,
Well, it's,
You don't like
it's
build
not-
piece by piece
Yeah,
like you
it's-
do
yeah,
in Fallout
that was
4.
the worst part in
It's
Fallout
more of
4
a
for me.
broad spectrum type thing. So like,
Like for one castle, you can tell them to be like engineers, and they'll build
Right.
like catapults,
Yeah.
and it'll be very
Yeah.
techy. Or you can have one that's based on animals, and there'll be like a bunch of wolves and
Oh, okay.
cages and
it's not
shit.
super dynamic.
This
Gotcha.
game, when this game came out, it looked very reminiscent of Assassin's Creed 2, which actually, because it borrowed the Assassin's Creed 2 engine at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That being said, though, this game has a system called the Nemesis system, which is this is the only game to use it so far.
It's so amazing.
Which
And
is
it's great.
crazy.
Yeah, because people love this system. But can one of you guys explain what this system is, how it's used?
Yeah, I can. Essentially, you build your own army of orcs. So you get to, I don't know if it's 25% through the game, but you get to a certain point
it's
to
the
where
second half.
the second half.
Yep.
Okay. But essentially, a random orc war chief will appear on the map, and you can target that war chief specifically, and you basically mark him where you put your hand on his face, and he becomes under your control. So you build an army, and the war chief will have different lieutenants that report to that war chief, and you can change them in and out based on their abilities. So some war chiefs will be higher level than other war chiefs. They'll have better abilities.
To it.
Eventually you get to a point to where your character, if you've invested in like really strong legendary traits, you can basically just kill hordes of orcs in like one shot. You're
really?
just like chopping their legs and their heads off
Yeah.
in one hit, and you're just wrecking them.
Well,
But
yeah. At the
that
end,
takes a while.
at the end of the game, like unless you can pretty much negate almost all of the damage that you
Right.
can possibly take, just because you get so much more abilities to your defense and blocking.
The
and
tricky part
pairing.
of the Nemesis system the guys kind of mentioned was that you take all these orcs underneath your army, but if you get killed, or if something happens to you, you lose part of your army, correct? And you got to retake your like soldiers that you lost.
Basically, every time you die, there's power struggles that happen in
Right.
the whole orc army. So
That's cool.
whether your own guys or the guys you haven't controlled yet or you're trying to take, they can potentially die, or they can have like underlings that just get stronger and then they fight. They end up and then it happens while you're dead, and then one wins. And if the younger one beats whichever one, either way, whichever orc kills whichever orc, they become stronger.
Right.
And
So-
it becomes more or less of a
And that's
threat.
what draw people to the first game, because that system had never been seen before to
Yeah.
this level, especially applied in a Lord of the Rings context. Nerds are gonna freak out about this, and it worked. People love this game. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I couldn't get into the Nemesis system, but I can get why people like it.
Yeah, if you can get past 5 hours of gameplay where you really start to get experience points and then start to build your traits, and then you just get it becomes so fun.
I've seen this game for sale for $10.
Yeah.
It's
a great
just
buy.
one of those games where you buy
Yeah.
it and just gets added to the pile, and I just haven't played it
No,
yet.
yeah, it's been out for 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
and
3, yeah.
and most of my friends had it.
I don't know if you guys
day
remember
one.
when Shadow of Mordor dropped. It was kind of under the cover. It didn't get a lot of hype when it came out. It kind of people who were looking forward to it picked it up.
Yep.
But then it just kind of kept getting momentum. But did you play Shadow of Mordor? No, but it's really good. And
Right.
it just kept getting a bigger crowd, and that's how this sequel came about. And this sequel is getting a ton of hype.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I got the Game of the Year edition for $15 on Steam.
Okay.
But now I'm gonna buy Shadow of War
Sure.
day one.
That's
From
what-
a collector's edition standpoint, this game has a $300 collector's edition
Whoa.
called the Mithril edition, and it comes with a 14-inch statue of a Nazgul. And you know what a Nazgul is? It's basically a black dragon.
Yeah.
It's
But
just a dragon.
It's freaking. It has the back.
The Wraith Rider
It has a
on it?
Wraith Rider on it.
I don't know how you could justify
Oh my
$300.
Well, if I
that
liked,
is
if I
hard.
liked the game, I'd probably pick it up because it has a ton of sweet stuff.
I
in this
love the
box.
game. I ain't spending $300 though.
When I have,
Jesus.
Yeah. To wrap up the Middle Earth Shadow of War segment, basically this game, from what I understand from story wise, is you're out to now get Sauron.
It's just a continuation from last.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Our next game on this list, I won't have too much to say about because I didn't play the first one, but it's worth mentioning. Evil Within 2 comes out October 13th. This was shown at E3 this year. I think it was it demoed there too?
It wasn't on the show floor.
It wasn't?
No.
Basically, Evil Within 1, you played a character. I think he was searching for his daughter, if I remember the story correctly. People loved it at the time. Sweet looking graphics. The horror was a different take on a horror genre for a scary game.
It's made from the same guy who made Resident Evil 4.
And then people,
So
yeah,
it's
and then,
that style of game.
yeah. Imagine how many copies of Resident Evil 4 have been transpired over the years. That guy, obviously, he's got his props for that. People, I think Evil Within was well received back in the day.
I can't believe this game got a sequel though. I really can't, because it got okay reviews.
Did
It did. Yeah. There's another game that I own that I haven't played. I plan on playing this in October for the past 2 years, and I haven't. I'm hoping I do it this year.
I think it's like a 10-hour game.
Yeah, I know. No, it's really short. And Resident Evil 4 is one of my top 10 games of all time.
Oh, wow.
I love that game with a passion.
Evil Within 2 is a Bethesda game, and Bethesda is known for really good story-driven first-person shooters.
It's not first person, it's third.
Is it third person?
Yep.
When
no.
did
was Evil Within first? Was it third or first?
Yeah, it was third.
Oh,
Yeah, it just plays like Resident Evil 4.
when did Evil Within 1 come out? How long ago? Was that?
2013.
Was that-
About the same time as Mordor.
Yeah,
And is this a multiplayer game?
Nope,
No.
just single player.
Just single player?
yeah.
Okay.
That's what
Yep.
Bethesda does these days, for the most part.
Nice, meaty single player, then you're out. That's
Yeah.
my type of game.
Oh my god!
Right. On a whole different level of games here, South Park: The Fractured Butthole comes out October 17th. This game we've mentioned before, but this game is people are starting to preview it now. People have gotten a little bit of taste of the story and gameplay. The hype keeps getting better.
This is the day one purchase for me, and I rarely do that, but I just can't hold my excitement for this game.
I can't decide if I want to buy it or watch someone play through it. Because all I really care about is hearing the little things they say here and there.
So I think ask Brent because Brent did both. He watched.
Okay.
You watched it initially.
Did you enjoy?
I watched the whole game and then I played it twice.
What did you enjoy more, playing through it yourself or watching it for the first time?
For some reason, South Park humor never gets old to me. So when a 7-8 foot Nazi fetus, comes crashing through a wall, that never gets old for me.
Or
Kardashian?
Yeah, the Kardashian
Oh,
fetus.
God.
When you're fighting underpants gnomes while your parents are having
oh
sex.
my god!
The
that
best.
that was weird.
Out of
but-
nowhere. Just a ball sack out of nowhere. So good.
The first South Park game, the Stick of Truth, was it got a lot of hype because it's basically a South Park episode with gameplay, and it was turn-based. The gameplay was okay. It was good.
Have you seen the gameplay for this? It's like grid based.
Yeah, it's
kind of like Rabbids.
Yeah, it's what do you call it? Tactical.
Yeah.
Now.
It's like Final Fantasy Tactics, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's kind
Breath
of
of
like
Fire, or
Which a
one
lot,
of those.
a lot of people were
types
nervous
of-
about this
yeah.
change at first, but now that they're playing it, they're getting warmed up to it, which I think
Yeah.
I will too.
everything that I've heard from preview events is just like the first game, except there's more, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I've heard somebody had said, I think it was IGN had said, this is probably the funniest game since the Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
So
Anyone who hasn't played the first one, if you buy the Fractured Butthole, you'll get the first one with it.
the Stick of Truth was maybe like a 12-hour game. I'm okay with that for this staying 12-hour for
Yeah,
this
me
one
too.
too.
Yep.
And once I beat Fractured Butthole, I'll probably go and play Stick of Truth again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next game is, depending on if it pertains to you, you've played them before, Assassin's Creed Origins, one that takes place in Egypt, comes out October 27th is what I have here.
More like #Assassin's Creed Borigins.
So I've played most of the Assassin's Creed
Where's
games.
the aloe vera? That one burned.
Goddamn right.
I stopped at Syndicate. I tried, couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into the French one either. Basically, I fell off the Assassin's Creed chain. This one got a lot of hype because they took a year off. It's going back to the beginning of the Assassin's Creed formula, but despite what people are saying, especially the critics, this still looks like just an Assassin's Creed game to me. It doesn't look that much different.
This game should just take forever off.
Yeah.
I don't need any more of these.
I'd rather have Ubisoft focus on a brand new IP that they invest this much into Assassin's Creed. Like, get back to that one game they showed at E3.
No, they tried Watch Dogs. That didn't really work out for them.
No,
Assassin's Creed is their bread and butter.
I would hope they drop their bread and butter and focus on that Beyond Good and Evil game that they teased.
They've been teasing that for
Yeah.
like 10 years plus.
I feel like they just started to push out or try to push out content too fast, and they just started coming out really buggy, and people get really pissed off.
That's
about
what happened
it.
with this
Yeah.
series.
Remember Steep, guys? Remember Steep?
The snowboarding game.
Big hit.
Oh, yeah.
That's all Ubisoft. They're just Dance is their bread and butter, actually, if I'm being honest.
Oh, that gave me shivers. So bad.
Still being released on Wii.
Every 8-year-old girl loves that.
Just to give you a sense of Assassin's Creed Origins, the character you're playing supposedly creates the Brotherhood of the Assassins, if you know anything about this series. You can play as a Falcon of his, and I'm guessing there's some kind of...
In the Falcon punch.
No.
I'm out.
I guess you can... I'm not even sure if they play into the Templar situation, because Templars are a Catholic organization, so I don't know how it plays into the Egypt setting. Maybe it's just about him forming the organization.
I feel like the movie really hurt this franchise. Like, they didn't come out with a game that year, so the movie was the only thing anybody heard of Assassin's Creed 2016, and nobody cared
Yeah,
about
if you
that.
asked me if I'd rather have an Assassin's Creed game or a reinterpretation of Prince of Persia, I'd take my bet with Prince of Persia. I know they tried that already, but it's been enough time that Prince of Persia has passed. They can give that another whirl.
I liked that remake. Or not remake, but just reimagining.
Yeah, I did too. And
That was really good.
It stopped right there.
Yeah. I would rather have Prince of Persia than Assassin's Creed. I hate the way Assassin's Creed controls.
It was great. It was like God of War, but with like a rewind system.
Yeah, no, I played Sands of Time on PS2, and then I kind of dropped off, and then the reboot, and it was like 2009, I think.
Yeah, it was a long
when
time
it came.
ago.
It was a long ass time ago. But yeah, that was really fun.
And I watched John play it, and that was even entertaining just to watch.
The art style of it, I really liked.
it was great.
All right, this next game is one we're all probably hyped for just because it's the staple of video games, and that is Super Mario Odyssey, the newest Mario game coming to the Switch. And this game has taken award after award after all the awards at every conference this summer.
Yeah, everywhere it goes,
Yeah.
it just wins awards because it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember when we were at E3, they had like the same song, probably 10 minutes worth of it looped.
And I never got old.
No, and I remember like the workers being like, "Oh, this song's getting annoying." It's like I would listen to this all freaking
And you're
day.
sitting there going, beep, boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop.
Like I didn't want to leave the Nintendo area.
No,
just
it was
because-
just a huge area that was it looked like New Donk City.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I
Yeah.
never wanted
Which
to
is
leave.
like,
there
which is
was
like a
just like-
Mario New York City, essentially.
there was like
yeah.
an actual tank-sized tank with a hat on top.
It was so good.
It was so awesome, and there was like a ginormous chomp-omp with the hat on top.
yeah, chain jump.
Yeah,
I know when you play, there's an audience that is going to dig this game, and there's some people who have said this doesn't look too much more different than a Mario game, but when it comes to Mario, like the formula is perfect anyway, and anything they add on, which the technical element they added this time is you can take possession of enemies with your hat now.
You can take possession of a fireball.
Yeah,
You
and
can be a fireball.
that little tweak just to that Mario formula, you guys like I've said, and the trailers have shown it, it works. And
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
loving it.
I didn't know what to expect before I played it. I'm just like, okay, this seems like a gimmick, but I'll give it a shot. You play it, it changes everything
Hooked.
about Mario.
Instantly.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, we were just in New Donk City, which is just the central hub, and there's a lot of exploration that you can do in there, but I was just like never bored with it.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is one of the only games, I think this is the only game that we played the demo twice at E3.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 different levels that we
Yeah.
could have played. There was New Donk City, and then there was like the Mexican desert.
Yeah. Plus, like, there's little things where in the sand
Yeah.
world, you go into a pipe and then you're 2D on a wall, like, and then there's
Yeah,
stuff
like hieroglyphics.
Yeah, and that was just awesome.
It's cool. Oh my god.
It's all over the place.
It's
and
also
amazing.
it's also worth noting that Super Mario Odyssey is coming back to a Mario formula where you have supposedly you have a hub world, and then you have sub worlds that are the places you explore
Yeah.
and you collect your collectibles. The last few Mario games have been side scrollers or like Galaxy, where
It's
very
good.
short.
It's like Galaxy, but you're not firing to different planets.
It's
Right.
bigger worlds, that's
Yeah,
for damn sure.
right.
There's not as many worlds, but there's more to do in these worlds.
Yeah.
People wanted another Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine aspect to the
Yeah.
gameplay, and I think they're going to get it here.
This is definitely rubbing off some
Yeah.
Sunshine vibes.
We
for
actually
sure.
we had a Nintendo guy come up to. He's like, "Oh, can I ask you some questions about the demo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wanted a Super Mario Sunshine remake, but this will do." Super happy.
Mario is my favorite franchise. Before E3, the main game I was pumped about the most was Odyssey. Once we played it, my game of show was Odyssey. This game won't let me down. The story, weird, the wedding dress, everyone's wearing hats, weird shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this game.
It's oddly based around like fashion,
Yeah.
which it's so
Very much
weird,
so.
but it doesn't bother you at all.
Well, Jesse's hit on this before. Like you don't play Mario for story games or for the story parts, but
Right.
you appreciate kind of what's in there.
That's why you just make the story weird as fuck. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
nobody
you can.
cares
Doesn't
about
matter.
it, so you might as well just throw everything at the wall, see what
just,
sticks.
just take
It's
my
the
money.
same thing every time for the most part.
It wasn't
Save something. Save the world from evil.
Right.
There you
Oh,
go.
guess what? Bowser takes Peach again.
Oh, good.
Except this time,
Not surprised.
no, wait. This time they want to get married.
Oh, but there's make another baby junior.
there's no
right? Bowser
basketball.
Junior.
Like yeah, so I think it's cool to see that they're not rehashing the Koopalings, which have been in the last few games, but they're introducing these new weird play hat based characters that they're using for boss battles in this game. Which I'm not sure if you guys got to play a boss battle, but the footage
No.
I've seen,
But
they're,
we were-
they're not characters we've seen before.
When we were there, there were some particular people that got to play. Or was the day? It was one of the days we were there.
Yeah.
They actually released a video of someone being able to play the first boss battle, and it was cool. It was in New Donk City.
Here's the tricky part. So Assassin's Creed Origin comes out October 27th. We probably won't be playing that.
Nope.
Super Mario Odyssey comes out October 27th.
Yep.
We'll be definitely be talking about that. But a
Yep.
third game that comes out October 27th, and that's next on our list, is Wolfenstein 2: The New Order, a sequel to the original Wolfenstein. Comes out on the same day.
Yeah, I don't know
Not a good choice.
what these people are smoking. That makes no sense.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, people-
everybody should move out of the way of Odyssey. Even though I get that Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein 2 aren't going to be on Switch, but still, I feel like if you have a Switch, you're going to buy Odyssey that day. It doesn't matter if you have multiple consoles.
We won't spend too much time on it because not a lot of us have actually finished the game, but maybe a few guys did. Wolfenstein 2, it's a game that takes place in the Nazi era. The first one took place in the Nazi World War II, but the scenario is the Nazis won. They took over the world.
Yeah.
And
And we never get their scientists, so their scientifical advancements progress very rapidly.
yeah, it became like a mechanical world essentially. And you play as a soldier of America who goes into a coma, wakes up, and he's ready to kick ass. He kick some Nazi ass.
Yeah.
The first one took place, like I said, in Germany. This one appears to take place in America. The first game had a very dark tone to it, but it was fun to play just because you kick ass. It seems like the second one's taking a much more lighter approach because the trailer showed a lot more uplifting characters.
A lot more humor.
Yeah, a lot more
in
humor.
this.
Yeah. Like those sick humor that it has.
Like the robot dog?
Yeah.
Really good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trailer for this looked pretty cool because it opened with your character walking into like a milkshake like
Parlor?
60s, yeah, Parlor.
Yeah.
And the guy walks into you, like, "Hey, friend, can I buy you a milkshake?"
Yeah.
And the game looks gorgeous, like Bethesda good gorgeous.
Yeah. That's at E3. They remade their studio, or their the studio that they were having all the demos
The
in,
little deli that
into
they're
the
at.
parlor thing.
Yeah.
And the only thing I wish I wish the guy that was making was like some Nazi.
Yeah, I know,
It would've
right?
been sweet.
But no, they were handing out strawberry milkshakes
Yeah.
while
Oh,
we
that's so
played
cool.
the
Yeah,
demo.
you play the
That is
demo and you
cool.
got your milkshake.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
that's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Out of I'm a huge Nintendo fan, so their whole booth was amazing. But non-Nintendo at E3, Wolfenstein had the best booth.
If you played the first one, it's like a 13-hour first-person shooter. This one's probably gonna be around the same lines. You played this
Yeah.
game for
I guess so.
just a different story.
Tell you what, October is gonna fuck over my wallet.
Yep.
There are so many games that I want to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fractured Butthole. I mean, I'm
Yep.
getting Shaun of War, South Park. I'm getting Odyssey. I'm getting Wolfenstein.
And we're not done with our list yet.
Yeah, I may
But
get
we're
to-
done with October.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, there's
So we-
possibly 2 other things on our list that
You
I'm gonna buy
mentioned
too.
we mentioned our
Right.
backlog earlier this episode. It's only going to get worse this fall.
Yeah.
So, next game on the list, I won't spend too much time on because I'm not a fan of it. Maybe you guys are. Is Call of Duty World War II, a return to Call of Duty's roots, going back in history to World War II. Most recent Call of Duties have been future-esque space missions, but this one looks very promising if you're an old school Call of Duty
It's
fan.
World at War, right? A
Right.
remake.
Which I'm
Well,
pretty
no,
sure.
it's just another World War II game. They
Yeah.
haven't
Okay.
done one since World War.
Well, okay.
It's
but that was the
same
one that had-
studio though.
It's Sledgehammer. They're the new studio. Yeah.
Talk about game style here before we move on. People who have played this game at E3, or it's different, they kind of take a different approach on gameplay. Your character gets hurt, and if you can't find a med pack, you stay hurt. You don't bounce back like you do in modern shooters these days.
Yeah.
It's a much more unforgiving first-person shooter.
I'm glad they went back to World War II because
Yes.
just keep on.
Yeah.
When they kept
Oh
on
my
going
God.
more and more in the future, I got less and less interested.
Yeah.
That game comes out November 3rd, so just gotta do it if it's timing, and it's gonna be $60 full outright. It's a game I'm not gonna pick up. I mean, I would enjoy it if I did, but it's gonna be one of those games I sit on for 6 or 8 months before I decide to touch it again.
Yeah, I'll
So-
pass on it too, but every year you wait about a year and then they drop down to
Yeah.
$20.
I
It
got
would be
Yeah.
fun to pick it up for Nazi Zombies, though.
Yeah.
To play
I don't know.
multiplayer or whatever.
I won't pick it up.
But
right
is
away,
Modern
though.
Knots and Zombies, is it local co-op anymore?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
definitest.
I didn't know if it
That was one
still
of the biggest selling points for it.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So that game comes out November 3rd. November 7th, we've kind of hit on this game before. We weren't too excited about it, but maybe we'll be proven wrong. Sonic Forces comes out November 7th. Another Sonic game this year. This one's obviously a modern take on the Sonic franchise. This one looks like it could be okay. I'm not really sold on it yet. I don't need to play a modern Sonic, which this is. It jumps between 2D and 3D action as far as perspective. Kind of the selling point on this one is you can make your own Sonic character, which
Ugh.
some people will get into, but not me.
Yeah, no, there's some deep, dark edges of the internet where Sonic the Hedgehog just cosplay and Sonic the Hedgehog fandom goes where I don't even want to go. So now that you can make your own Sonic character, people are going to go apeshit over that.
And then to cap off our list, unless you guys want to throw anything else out there, Star Wars Battlefront 2 comes out November 17th. If you guys remember the first Battlefront, it was a paywall game. It was bad.
Yeah, I think they've learned from that though.
They have. But I played the first Battlefront, and I played maybe 20 hours, and I thought there'd be more missions to play by yourself. There really wasn't. And then you jump into the online, and people got good at that game way too fast for how level I am. So it was cool to see a Star Wars aesthetic in a Call of Duty format. That's why I wanted to play it. But once I got in there, I'm like, oh man, I'm so bad. I'm not gonna get any better at this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have too many other games to play.
Yeah.
This one looks promising. Aerial battle, the E3 trailer for Naboo.
The demos
looked-
were really
yeah,
cool.
It
We never-
shows really well.
We never got to play it at E3, which I wanted to, but we just didn't get time for it. But the Battle of Naboo was freaking epic.
They, when you were waiting to play this demo, they just had TVs of everybody else playing it.
It was like
Yeah.
20v20.
It was cool shit.
Yeah.
Basically, the gameplay looks like it takes place in a movie. You start in an aerial battle, and then you work your way down to the ground troops, and then you work your way to an inner sanctum where you're playing. Where you can play as a character you've been playing, or you can play as these Star Wars heroes like Darth Maul, or you can throw Han Solo into Naboo if you wanted to.
No, yeah, like the whole Naboo thing. I remember because the whole thing started. I remember someone got a siege tank, a droid siege tank, and it was just trucking through everything. And then I remember the same guy that had the siege tank finally got into like the the main citadel of Naboo, and then pulled out Darth Maul and was just like wrecking through stormtroopers. Just
So
like
it's
Play-Doh.
cool to see, but I'm nervous about how people are obviously going to get good at this game, and what's the level system look like
oh,
for
it's gonna be
this.
disgusting.
Yeah, I won't play this game, but I will watch this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the rarities. Like, I'm not big into multiplayer games. I don't have enough time to put into it, but I'll definitely watch it.
The only reason I might pick this game up day one is I love a good Star Wars story, and they're pushing a Star Wars single player this game.
Ooh.
So we'll see if that gets fleshed out to the degree I want it
That
to.
might be cool.
But the story here is you play as an elite trooper, and your story starts off in Return of the Jedi, and you're on the planet with the Ewoks, and you see the Death Star get destroyed, and you're pissed. And you want revenge, and the story goes off from there. So
Aren't you a woman pilot too?
you are a woman pilot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they haven't released too many details about the story, but it shows like a Skype emperor on the guy's face. You guys remember that? Seen that in the
Oh
demo?
yeah.
It's like the emperor skyping in on a dude's face. So
Oh shit.
if I play this, it's gonna be for the story, and maybe I'll touch multiplayer. But like I said, I'm just not good enough at online multiplayer these days.
This
so.
is EA game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the additional content you need to buy is
Well,
gonna be
they're
through the
claiming
roof.
this time around they learned from
Free,
the first.
yeah, free DLC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
At least from the
Okay.
start, but I think
There'll still be microtransactions, but it'll be cosmetic stuff, as from what I can tell.
Yeah, it won't affect the gameplay.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
They're actually
Yeah.
learning their lesson.
There are a couple other games, just tinier games that I
Sure.
kind of want to touch on a little bit.
please do.
First one, it's a remake, but I love this game so much. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Great
For
game.
Game
Yeah,
Boy
it's a good
Advance.
game.
They're remaking it for 3DS, and they're adding a little bit to it.
The aesthetics looks loyal to the old one, but just slightly enough that looks kind of cool for the 3DS.
Yeah, no, it really does. And yeah, played that as a kid, loved it. The series has kind of gone a little worse and worse after each
Right.
iteration, but the first one, God, yeah, very, very good. Last one I want to touch on, I just want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Super Lucky's Tale for Xbox One.
This is an unnecessary.
I don't know anything
platformer.
about
This
that.
is Xbox scraping to have something with the X, and it's not even really for the X.
No, it's just like, oh yeah, we can have a platformer too.
Yeah, hey, you
That's
guys,
all it is.
you guys remember Conquer, but it's not Conquer.
Yeah.
it's a Fox thing.
It's PG Conquer.
Yeah,
Just like, all right.
here's our answer to Mario, Super Lucky's Tale. I'm sure if you enjoy platform, this game's will be just fine. I think it's an Xbox exclusive, right?
Yeah, it is.
So for exclusives, just keep me to Cuphead. I'll be okay with
That's
Cuphead.
all I need.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Cuphead's coming to Switch though, right?
No.
No,
It's just Xbox.
That's why.
Oh, no, it's on PC though.
It's on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Brent's face was getting so
I
red.
about had a heart attack.
All right, let's move on to our next segment, and that is game anniversaries. We're kind of trying to get into the pattern here of mentioning kind of stuff in gaming history, games that we played that we can reminisce about. There's two of them we're going to talk about this time. The first one will be Final Fantasy VII, a landmark of its own in the time, turns 20 in U.S. localization time. So this game originally came out in January 1997.
Not
and
January, September.
No, Japan.
Oh, okay.
And it was localized for America on September 7th of 1997.
Gotcha.
So it's a 20-year anniversary for us. I played this game 10 years after it came out
Oh, okay.
because I never had a PlayStation 1 or 2 until I started working.
Still good.
When I came back and played it, it was tough because it's an old game and you need a PS1 memory card to even play it, which
Right.
is this game's been ported several times, but I wasn't part of that initial hype of that game when it came out, so like it still had an effect on me because I loved Sephiroth before I played this game.
Right.
I saw Sephiroth in Advent Children. I saw him first introducing me in Kingdom Hearts. That's what got me to play Final Fantasy VII because I loved Sephiroth.
Right.
And the game didn't disappoint. Like it's a good JRPG.
For sure.
The story was great. Cloud is Cloud. Did you guys play this game day one?
I mean, there's a reason that it's considered to be one of the best RPGs of all time, Final Fantasy VII.
right? Did you guys pick it up day one though? Back in the day?
No, I didn't.
I've never played it.
I was like
Yeah.
9 at the time, so
Yeah.
I was very young. So
But people hold this to the regard of like Ocarina of Time for PlayStation, which is saying something because Ocarina of Time is huge for Nintendo people.
Well, there aren't a lot, just like N64, there aren't a lot of games you can go back to on these old 32-bit systems because the graphics are garbage.
They don't hold
Yeah,
up.
well,
Right.
Yeah, and it says something to where like you can still play a game that doesn't look the greatest, but the story still holds up and the gameplay still holds up.
Right, and this game took a particular art piece because basically you're a 3D model walking around in pre-rendered art space. You're Cloud Strife and you're a polygon-based character, and then you're walking around in like a hand-drawing background, and there's just certain paths that your character can only take. But it was cool back in the day because it was just how PlayStation made games, especially Final Fantasy games. Props to Final Fantasy VII for turning 20. I'm really looking forward to that remake.
I was just going to talk about that.
I know it's going to be different than turn-based.
It's going to be episodic.
Yeah. I don't feel good about that, but I have faith that I'm going to still enjoy this remake.
Are they still delaying that game? Like,
Oh, it's way away.
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's way out there.
Ways,
Yeah.
ways.
Maybe 2019
I
at
would
the
guess
earliest.
2020.
I was
Yeah.
excited, then I'm like, okay, when's it coming out? Oh, not for years. Okay.
And who knows, with the story of this remake that it's had, they could go back to a single-player game because the episodic response hasn't been good.
No.
People are not liking that. But
Anything about, you're remaking a classic game.
Yeah.
And you're splitting it up? How dare you?
yeah, if that was an old Victoria Queen, I'd go, oh, and faint. And then another game that turns 20, I think it was this month as well. That is NFL Blitz.
Yes.
This game,
Love me some NFL Blitz. Let's do it.
I think this game first came out for the 64 on consoles, and then it came to arcade later. If that sounds right to you guys.
I have no idea. I
Was
played
it
it.
Sega?
No.
No.
Acclaim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is not even around anymore. I
Yeah.
don't
This
think.
was the NBA Jam of football, which is
Oh.
good stuff.
The arcade is amazing for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
NBA Jam worked for basketball. Why not do the same concept for football?
right.
Why not make them all 300 pounds?
Yeah.
All-
Oh, yeah. No rules. Okay. You can tackle after the play's done. You just dogpile.
Not only
someone's head
tackle,
off.
you can grab somebody by the jersey and throw them over your shoulder in like a wrestling move.
This game is still a blast. You can play this right now and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I actually prefer this game in the arcade setting because on a 4-person cabinet, like this game is fantastic.
Like up down.
Yeah,
This
and-
game's a blast.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
barcade here in Des Moines called Up Down, and every
Right.
time we go, we have to play at least a couple games of NFL Blitz.
And it's perfect because like each quarter is like 3 minutes, so the most you'll play for a full football game is 12 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, it's super fast.
It's good shit. But it came out for PS1, came out for N64. Both systems played, in my opinion, it played the game very superbly. I've only played it 2 people. I guess no, 2 people, in my opinion, is the best way to play this because you can control like offense, defense, that type of shit.
Right.
4-player, 2 people have to play receivers, and that's where it gets a little.
It's just
bit
like
fishy.
Madden, where the person has to be there to catch it.
Yeah, exactly.
This game totally makes sense at the time because sports games, I would say sports games blew up in the 64 PlayStation era. Like that's when sports games started getting yearly with your Maddens. We had NFL Quarterback Club back in the day. That was almost a yearly franchise, but kind of dropped off. And then NFL Blitz comes in, puts a different twist on a sports game that were blowing up at the time, and it hit. People liked it. People were playing it.
I'm so sad that they don't make these anymore. They made one for PS3 and it wasn't that great because the NFL license didn't want it to be like extreme, like
Right.
any like no, you can't break the rules type shit.
Right. And I think this was pre-licensing problems because
Oh, yeah.
NFL Blitz had all the football teams at the time.
Yeah, nobody cared about concussions in the 90s.
Yeah.
no one cared at
Exactly.
all.
Well, Blitz was also, going back to my point, was sports game at the time. You picked out your plays, you went down the field. It probably took 5 to 10 minutes per quarter.
Yeah.
Blitz was so great because it's 3 minutes, and then you really don't have to put too much thought into what play you choose,
Oh, no.
other than your punting or
Direction, smash B.
kicking. Yeah, because basically once you got the ball, you just booked it, and then if you're the other character,
Or
and
you just see this 500-pound man come across the screen and just lay your
Was
ass
that the
out.
boost?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
remember
could drag people behind you.
I remember the first time I played that, I didn't know that was a thing, so everyone was just wrecking me. And like after 10 minutes, I'm like, "How are you guys going so fast?" And they're like, "Oh, there's a turbo button." I'm like, "Oh, damn it!"
it's if you haven't played this game, give it a shot, especially in the arcade. I think it's the best in the arcade setting, and it's probably where you're gonna find it these days anyway.
If you have like a PS1 collection or an N64 collection, you can find this dirt cheap. Like I'm talking $1.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like most sports games.
Yeah.
Pretty
Oh
cheap. Yeah.
man, this
Next
is
year.
Yeah.
this is probably my favorite sports game. I can't think of anything else that I'd want to play more than this.
I love Mario Tennis. Like I love Mario Tennis.
Yeah, no,
Mario
I
Tennis.
guess it's hard to say. This
Mario
is-
Tennis 64. I'm not sure if you call it Mario Tennis 64 sports game, but it's sports.
I guess I'll take that back because Mario Golf is my jam too.
Yeah.
This has a good place in my heart. I will always
But
love this game.
Comparing
Non-Nintendo sports game. Let's You say
Let's.
that?
I will definitely say that.
Yeah.
I like this better than
Yeah.
NBA Jam.
Like comparing Mario Golf to Blitz on a sports game level, like
that's
that's
tough.
apples to oranges. So
Yeah.
you can't do that.
I think the soundtrack and the for some reason the enthusiasm of the
Well, the announcer.
the announcer.
The announcer in Jam is the best.
Yeah.
This
and then
like
the soundtrack too.
yeah, no, Blitz doesn't really have a good soundtrack. It's
Yeah.
kind of ugly. It's just like when you make a mistake, it's just like just like doesn't really care. Just the gameplay is solid.
Man.
I love it.
I remember the opening too, where it's the iguana lazily laying on the, and it's like the bouncy basketball, and the worst sounding I've ever heard for breaking glass.
Of course you would like that because I think that same iguana wasn't Acclaimer who made Turok.
He's the sucker for Turok. We know
The
this.
sick bastard.
And they didn't have any like cheerleader animation. It was just like a cheerleader still while it was loading.
Oh man,
And you could put in cheat codes before the game where you're just like, I don't know what button combinations is what. I just always just mashed buttons, and you get like a big head, or you get like infinite turbo.
Yeah.
Oh man, good shit.
Let's move on to our final segment, and personally, one of my favorites, and that is trivia. I'm going to turn over the host to Brent Harris, who is providing our clips tonight. All right, let's do clip 1, Brent.
All right, so number 1.
Samus or Metroid?
Correct.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime.
Nice.
Very good,
You
Jesse.
got that. It's like sensor sounds or
That
something.
is the visor.
Yeah. I immediately thought like Alien vs Predator, but I'm like, it's probably not
If you're going to
bad
play a
or
Metro
something.
Cup, you need to do the
That's too obvious.
That's too obvious.
Yeah.
Brent doesn't like to give anything away.
We would all like
no.
scream.
That's what I need to win, damn it.
Brent's got them deep cuts.
All right, number 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna make this specific either. So here we go. Clip 2.
Ooh. Sounds like a spy game.
Final Fantasy VIII.
James Bond, 007.
James Bond. James Bond Nightfire.
Yes.
Oh God! I was gonna say Goldeneye, but it wasn't.
You know what Brent does this?
Nightfire.
That was his shit back in the day.
That was man.
Nightfire.
Brent played this game by himself because he can play little robots and drones, and he just fight the robots in that game.
I would put me versus like 6 bots, I think, and then I would just ride around in this helicopter and then.
You're the only person I know that's played 007 Nightfire.
on GameCube.
Okay, so not only did I play like probably 100+ hours, okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then I would also only play one map.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus,
it
Brent.
was the snow map.
It was very sad.
Wow.
So Jesse took 1 point for Metroid, and you also took a point for 007
James
Nightfire.
Bond.
Yeah, you guys need to step up.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a sweet.
So Jesse-
Sorry, I don't know my 007 Nightfire.
All right, Brent, clip number 3.
All right, clip number 3. I do need you guys to be specific.
Oh no, Mario Party.
Nope.
Mario 64.
No,
Oh man.
Yoshi's
I
Woolly
hate
World.
this.
No.
Yoshi's Island.
Nope.
I know this. I
Is it a
hate
Yoshi
this.
game? Can we get hints or no?
I mean, I can go into the.
Do we want hints first, or do we think we can nail this before?
Do you want to play it again?
It's not Yoshi's
No,
World.
I
Did someone
I
say
know
Yoshi's
this
World?
song. I said Yoshi's Story or Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's World or something like that.
Nope.
Is it Yoshi's Story?
Nope.
Is it on Super Nintendo?
Oh, are we going clues now?
I think Brent needs to give us a clue, then we respond.
Nintendo 2DS and 3DS.
Oh no.
Super Mario 3D Land.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yay, I'm on the board. Yay.
Never played that one.
It's
Well
a
done.
really good game.
It's so good.
Really
It's
good.
Super
Did
fantastic.
you ever play 3D World?
On Wii U?
No.
Oh,
You didn't play Cat Mario, bro?
Oh, that is so good. So good, man.
I think I bought it from the flea market for like $8 or something.
Yeah, you should play it.
It's
It's-
okay.
It's worth every $8.
That game
Yeah.
got overlooked like crazy.
Yeah.
Very
it was
good.
cheap. I was surprised I found
Yeah.
it so cheap.
And not only that, it had a final mission that was like the pinnacle of Mario platforming. That was tough and
Yeah.
fast.
And it was Cat Bowser.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds sweet.
You want to talk about Mario changes to the formula? Cat Mario
Cat
Blue.
Mario.
No,
it was,
climbed
blue. It was
walls
huge
and
for the
shit, right?
time.
Cat Mario seems super gimmicky, but it's really good.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
gameplay that it changes, you can just climb up stuff for a limited amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool.
All right.
All right, now I'm ready for none of you to get this. All right, ready?
Yep.
Turok.
Clip 4. No.
Turok.
Good guess, though.
Turok. It's assorted. Faster than light.
Nope.
It's probably some PC game.
Sounds like a PlayStation game.
Shogun Showdown.
Nope.
Is that a Final Fantasy game?
No.
All right, we're gonna need details.
Is it
Sound-
an indie game?
I doubt it. Okay, this will confuse you.
Confuse us?
great.
Oh, good.
Yes. PS4, Wii, Wii U, Windows, PS Vita, Switch, Android, and SNES.
It's an indie game. It has to be.
It might be an indie game. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would think it'd be an indie game. Did you say Wii?
I said SNES, Android, Apple, PS4, Wii, Wii U, Windows, PS Vita, and
you
Switch.
just said SNES.
Yeah.
What?
So it's an
SNES.
old game that's got re-released a lot of times.
It was on Super
Like
Nintendo.
Virtual
Yeah, but
Console.
it was on Super Nintendo, and then it came to phones too.
Bum, bum.
SimCity?
Nope.
No.
That came out, didn't it?
I guess the date's already obvious at this point, but August 6th, 1993.
Oof.
Is this like Chrono Trigger?
No.
Is this an RPG?
That's
a yes.
Final Fantasy?
Nope.
Secret of Mana.
Boom.
Oh.
Secret of Mana.
So Jake takes the last point. I took the third point, but Jesse still walks away the
I
winner of
won
the
that.
night
Yep.
with his
Wow.
first two. So congrats,
Well
Jesse. I think you've won the
Great.
last 2 times now, right?
God,
I didn't win the
our
last
guests are wrecking you guys.
Or what?
Our guests.
Oh yeah,
Kevin's won twice now, and Jesse's won twice now.
Yeah.
that's why we bring him on.
Wait, so is Secret of Mana actually an indie game?
No.
No, Secret of Mana.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so with how popular it is.
I didn't know it was on iOS. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been episode 8 of Super Media All Stars. You can find us on Twitter, Jake, at.
SMAS Pod.
Tweeter.
You can find us on Facebook at Super Media All Stars. You can email us if you'd like to at supermediaallstars@gmail.com. You can find me on Xbox as SideJohn. You can find me as PlayStation at jharris3571.
You can find me on both PlayStation and Xbox at Lumberjake007. Oh, and Instagram. Steelbook Obsessed.
There you go.
I have video game steelbooks. For the Call of Duties, I have steelbook.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of cool game steelbooks, so it's worth check them out. There's a lot of cool stuff on there.
I almost memorized my 12-digit switch code.
Sick.
You tried?
I tried. Yes.
But don't forget your B-Tang plug.
Bang Tang
Bang
for
Tang.
Steam.
Bangarang.
Bang Tang.
Hugsy on Steam and PlayStation Sweatman 20007. So I might be picking up Destiny 2, so maybe I'll see you on PS4.
Before we head out, a few other things I want to plug real quick. Like I said, we're still in the process of we're going to start our indie game miniseries with Cuphead coming to Xbox One in October.
We'll review that at the end of October.
Yeah, we'll also be playing it throughout the month. Hopefully we're experimenting with our first Let's Play, so hopefully that'll be our first one and we get that rolling so you guys can see us play that game.
Struggling is more of a
Yeah.
accurate term.
Yeah.
Figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Dying a lot?
Yeah.
Don't forget our SMAS coverage next week. We'll be talking, eventually be getting out the unboxing of the 3DS and all the cool stuff that comes with that. Other than that, thanks for listening. We appreciate the support and feedback you guys give us. We're always looking to keep going. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe on Mac services. And if you follow us on Twitter, that's great.
How's Spotify coming along, Brent?
Close. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, so
Gotcha.
hopefully next week sometime, I'll get a response with yes or no.
It's
or-
worth noting that me and Jake had a conversation that we're rated explicit on Mac services because if you say one word that is not PG, you have to become an explicit content.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
We don't cuss that much though.
Not usually, but if you say one bad
Even
thing,
like shit.
yeah,
Oh,
you say one thing,
ass.
you
There's
honestly,
no chance then.
Yep. We're fucked.
Yes.
So if that offends you, we apologize. We do it just because this is us shooting the breeze, talking about games.
You could
Shooting
go
the
through
shit.
and bleep every little one, but that would be a lot of editing.
Yeah, I don't mind editing, but
Yeah.
it can be timely.
Yeah,
So
bit much, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this has been episode 8. So thanks for joining. We'll see you next week. Have a good time.
Fucking see ya.
Later.
Bye.
Game over, man. Game over.
Bye bye.
I am out of here.